Alright, guys, so Matt Reeves' The Batman, part one of what will maybe be. It's a long movie, but it's great. So, I don't know how much parts it will take, but we'll see. So, let's just jump right in, not waste any time. So, I'm at the very beginning 3, 2, 1, and WB red logo right there. Just checking the camera. Alright, let's do this. It's been a long time coming, too long for this great movie. Of course, my favorites still remain Batman Returns, but this is up there. And it really took me away when I first saw it in the cinema. Just the Ave Maria soft tone, drifting in the loudspeakers, and just the big title, the Black Man, the Batman, remind me a little bit of the Joker, like big letters, big bold, with a big bold. Joker was yellow. This is red, of course, and we have, of course, the Riddler doing his reconnaissance, and I love right here. I love how we can, because I think, of course, I like how he breathes, because this version of the Riddler, of course, we see Mayor Mitchell getting fakely killed by his sons in Halloween costume, and we see after that the Riddler looks for the skyline, excuse me, where he will enter. And yeah, if there's one thing in this Gotham, it's watch for the skyline, because you can get fucked pretty much everywhere that has a skyline. So watch carefully. But yeah, it was very. It was, if you have asked me how will this movie begin, I this would be my last answer. Like, I would have never, like, very. And here we just see him through the interstice, really narrow. And at the beginning, I thought it was maybe something in the past. Maybe it was the Wayne Manor, and I was confused. But of course, here we explain everything. So yeah, we are introduced to the very important theme, that is renewal, because renewal is in my mind, renewal. And sorry for the voice, I'm a little under the weather, but for me, renewal is this central theme of this movie, because it describes every texture of hope, corruption, wealth, and inequality, and how good people will make bad decisions, and how bad people will take advantage of it, of course. And I have to talk, of course, so many things to talk about: the cinematography, the Riddler green costume, bold green, uh, really imitating the big drapes, the thick drapes in the windows, so he's almost invisible, even for us who are watching movies. So of course we understand that, and we understand the run for mayor. Of course, again, the last thing we hear is truth, and what happens after truth is spoken: death. And I love that the Riddler is so feral. He is he waits, and he's like a feral animal. He's like a soul, like, of course, the team. And my friend actually had to tell me that Ave Maria, why it plays a couple of times in the movie. The theme of the Riddler um, is composed from the core notes of Ave Maria. So it's really his anchor for the team. And I love how he sits there. He could do everything. He could be do everything very quickly. Like what if someone, what if his wife and son get back? What if the I can't believe this guy, the mayor, doesn't have a bodyguard. And I have to stop talking because there's a Batman monologue. And of course, a monologue. I don't remember if I ever heard a monologue, maybe in Batman Year One. Um I remember a monologue, but not of this grandeur, not of this stature, not dripped into such rich uh, images of the city when we were introduced to the drifters aspect of this Batman. And the drifter concept is probably one of my favorite things about this Batman, because of course he will soon have a Batmobile, but how does a year two Batman or a year one or even every night, like, is it like the Arkham games, like he just fly from rooftops to rooftops and just, like, how does he find crime? He has to, and I love the way he has his motorcycle, his costume in his bag, and he can become Batman. Anything, he can transform from an unknown civilian to the Batman in almost, like, I don't know how long it takes for him to put his suit on, but as we see, not very long. So he is very, very efficient. He has become very efficient in this method. So he has found his target. And of course, I talked um, while we saw all the aspect of darkness and people committing crimes and people fearing the dark. And I love the way that the the signal is just the pure crude shit, like just a big metal spike. It's not beautiful and glistening like it's like that. Christopher Nolan's trilogy was beautiful and glistening, and his his tech was the best and the most efficient, and blah blah blah, and all lustful and rich, and I'm a billionaire. And yeah, this guy is a billionaire too, but he made all of it. He doesn't need a well fashioned. He doesn't need to call a forger to do. Yeah, I kind of need a Batman signal. Like, make me a beautiful symbol between. No, just they just said fuck it. Let's just looks kind of like a bat, with the wings. Yeah, I just planted on the light, and yeah, let's take a look. Seems good, looks good. Get the message across. Move on. That's how this Batman works. I am the shadows, and of course, I love, love, love just dropping his paintball and rolling in the dark. And why are you so afraid of the dark? And of course, we can speculate on whether these guys are proto Joker's gang because of this white face and the smiles, because Joker is already in Arkham. Who knows? Um, of course, what can I say? Um, Sees a signal, and I like that. I like that even after 2 years, he hasn't time to lose. He is purely efficient, goal driven, strategy detective, mindset Batman. And I love, for the first time I saw this, it's like, no, Batman wouldn't make any noise. Batman would, but I didn't get this Batman at length. And it reminded me of the footsteps. It reminded me of Clint Eastwood um, cowboy movies. I mean, it's the same. The boots do the same noise with a cowboy boot, and just walks slowly towards its prey, and that's how he preys on the fear. Yeah, we hear it. And Matt Reeves said he had real big military boots, and of course, I just stopped because I have too many words in my mouth. Okay, so first look at the face reveal, costume reveal. Of course, we saw it in the trailer, but what can I say? I love that he has the cowl, the Gotham by Gaslight cowl, high cowl. Makes him look like not more not more. I was gonna say eccentric, but it makes him look like a detective. Like, detectives always have their collars up, in the air. Or it makes me think like that, like he's a detective, because I don't know. That's my thoughts. And I like the nose, who is, of course, the first nose I really like. Well, not the first I really like, but I like it. I like it differently than I like the other suits. But first, I like that there's no holes in the mask, so he can breathe. I like that it's just a mask, because, hey, Christopher Nolan, it's not a helmet, it's a mask. Get it? So it's so normal. Like in all Batman comics, why do you hide his nose? No, let him fucking breathe. It's already. Do you know how fucking hot this costume already is? Hot and heavy and sweaty, and can't really move like exactly like I want, and I have to get used to it, and I just patch it up myself, not by Mr. Lucius Fox. No, I made it my fucking self with just some layers of bulletproof shit, and go put this on. Looks great. Okay, let's go. It's like no time to lose ever. So, and of course, I love, people will say, but most of his jaw, it's to show Robert Pattinson's perfect jaw. I agree, he has a perfect jawline. But for me, the overture of the mask, you get it, Nolan? Not a circle. A circle looks like shit. A triangle. Always a triangle. Why? To be a contrast to the Joker's laugh. For me, it has always. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's in the lore. I don't know if I read it somewhere. But I don't say I invented this concept. But for me, it has always been that. So I am glad that, and people are gonna say, "Oh yeah, but he's more vulnerable to people can shoot him in the mouth." Okay, listen, guys, it's the motherfucking Batman. He knows his jaw. If his jaw was hidden, he wouldn't have the same power, because a lot of anger, when people are angry, there's the eyes and there's the mouth, the jaw that moves, the teeth that grinds, everything. Do you know how much emotion you would deprive yourselves if you were hiding it, like Christopher Nolan did? Now we have a full mobility around everything here. And people, Batman has been around since 1940 something, for 80 years. And people never shot him in the jaw. Do you know why? Because he's Batman, and he's better than that. So yeah, so I'll pause just to say that I'll pause soon again. I am at just before the fight, 10 minutes 22 seconds on pause. And of course, I have to talk about the fight right now. Okay, pause again. Machete, dangerous, dangerous weapon. For the fighting style, there are lots and lots and countless depictions of Batman. I'm just happy that Batman is always best when he's a brawler. People masturbate on Ben Affleck's warehouse scene in Zack Snyder's Batman shit. Yeah, he was a brawler. I even say I like the fights in this one better than the warehouse, because in the warehouse he was doing things when a knife. Well, first in the warehouse we could see the stuntman almost 80% of the time, and at the end Ben Affleck appeared, and we only saw Ben Affleck with the close shots, and it was always like, guys, what the fuck? The stunt double, yeah, he's very good, but he's like 30 pounds less and smaller than Ben Affleck. It's like, what the fuck? You you make. I know I'm talking about different movie, but it's for the Batman mythos in which we pray. So let's pray to the good Batman shit. It's like you made Ben Affleck train all with this way. Took make him take make him take all the pressure of following in Christian Bale's footsteps, crappy footsteps, but whatever, and him make him train him for months and blah blah blah, and you can't even let him fight. What the fuck? What the fuck's the point? I mean, of course, when there's the rigs and the grappling hook and the flips and the shit, of course you use a stuntman. But for the punch and the thing, like, yeah, you see him right here, Robert Pattinson. He's able to do his fight scene because he trained. You just need to train it, and yeah, and Christopher Nolan never learned. Christopher Nolan cannot shoot action. He doesn't understand it. Matt Reeves understands it. This reminds me more of the scene in the first Matrix. Large, spectral frame, clearly, no shaky cam. We see every move, we can feel every punch. Clearly, we're not lost. The music follows. And okay, so for the fighting styles, of course, this is, I haven't read the book that introduces the movie, the book that happens before the movie, but I know that uh, Alfred was, I think, an SAS, probably, a British SAS, or MI5, or I don't know. So, whatever. He has adopted a military style. And so, what very military styles have in common, if there's always, they just choose the most efficient shit. So, somebody comes at you with a machete. Machete is not as is very different than a knife, because a knife has far more maneuverability, and I don't say a machete has not. Of course, a machete is fucking deadly as fuck, and I would never want to stand before one. But a machete is more like a staff. It's longer. It has its own range of motion, and Batman doesn't have to fear the cuts really, because yeah, the cuts in the face, but I mean, he is 95% bulletproof in this suit, which is the only thing I really don't like about this movie. I think it makes perfect sense. And if you were to tell me, yeah, you have to be Batman, I would say, oh shit, I better find myself some good bulletproof shit and be bulletproof as much as I can, because of course, because and I'm still young at this. He's not a veteran. Maybe in Batman in the sequel, yeah, he will have a different suit, but this suit has good maneuverability for the bulletproofing it has. So why change? Of course, I'm all nerding out for the good Batman, for the good Batman suit. And I don't like the tactical knife. I get that everything is usable, is a gadget, but just this big symbol. I would prefer a real symbol. Um, but of course, it makes him. It's in plain iron, in plain metal. So of course, this is bulletproof too. And when does Batman use a knife? Like, not so many times. Like, for knives, he has batarangs, and they didn't want to take batarangs in this, and they never use his. These, as I read on these gauntlets, are darts. So he's supposed to like shooting darts, or maybe tranquilizers, or sleepy darts, or whatever. I don't know. They seem pretty huge, so maybe some say it's a reference to the Court of Owls. I hope it is, but I don't know yet. So, okay. So the fighting style. Um, he started with 2 blocks to tuck, mm, pure karate. Pure karate, pure. He doesn't. His gauntlets and his gloves, everything is won't get cut. So Um, he doesn't have to react like a civilian, or a guy who doesn't have armor would. And remember, guys, what I always say about every fight scene in every Batman media that's out there. It's all about the iteration. Don't start with the fighting system. Start with what Batman are you telling the story of? Then talk to me about the fighting systems, because you can have one. You have to have your Batman before, to know, not just to know what he knows, but to design what makes logic for him, and what's realistic for him to realize. Like I said in the Dark Knight Returns commentary, in Dark Knight Returns, he wouldn't move like this, because Batman Returns, in the Dark Knight Returns, must weigh 275 pounds. Robert Pattinson must not weigh much, about 190 ish. Like, so, makes no sense. And he said, Pattinson, or in the making of, they said that he trained more for speed, endurance, and yeah, fast. He trained to be more faster and more, because, and but of course, timing beats speed, and strength is not always a great equalizer. And as Batman will learn with Bane, I hope we see Bane. Anyway, so let's me focus on this, because there are a few fight scenes in the movie, and I can take an hour on each. So he karate blocks, fine. Um, Counters with a Slavic X motion, because I loved it when when I saw it in the trailer the first time. I went, oh yeah, I know this, because I did some Slavic arts. So, because for me, it could be a form of dirty boxing, but for me it's Slavic. For me, when you come with a, he blocks straight, and he X with an X motion, it's often Slavic, and Alfred must have shown him, because military styles use this fighting style. Because why lose the time when you could just come back much faster with the same power? So it's like a momentum. He's creating a momentum, and that's what I like about his response. Um, so already the guy would be pretty much out with his gloves, and there after he goes 1-2. Okay, yeah, 1-2, X strikes, breaks the elbow, so that's jujitsu. And after, what I like is that the guy loses machete because, of course, he just got his arm broken. And I like that if you look carefully, you see that Batman locks his fingers. He continues to punch him with the other hand, but when with his free hand, but in the other hand, he keeps his finger in a lock. And it's not, it's good control. It's very good control in the rain, and it's just a good slight detail that makes just a more refined combat style and refined details, because he didn't need, his arm is already broken, he's lost his weapon, he's already much unconscious, like it was not really needed. But I like that this Batman doesn't take he's efficient. Like he drives like a battering ram. So that's always, and he hits way more times than needed. So strike, strike, yeah. And two last. Patton then said vengeance, and he said that he added the last two just because he said when Batman fights someone, when Batman fights someone, he imagine uh, his enemy as the one. Every enemy that Batman fights in Pattinson's mind is are those who killed his parents. So every guy you see there, for him in his head, they killed my parents. They killed my parents. That's why he's so brutal. That's why he doesn't take prisoners. But he doesn't kill. And yes, so we're about, he just left, he just got on his feet. And so, mass battle. When I say mass, I mean multiple enemies. This is crazy shit. I only want to fight two guys, and he is fighting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is fucking nuts. Let's just go through it a move at a time. So he begins, and I love the pacing. Like everyone is priming, because it's real. When you go into a fight, you won't just go, oh, okay, time to fight. You have to pump yourself. The adrenaline has to go up, and he's alone, and everybody is like kind of, they're like a pack of wolves, and they're taking their positions, and they are saying like, what the fuck do we do, and what kind of, some people have metal bars, some people have guns, some people have whatever. So Batman must be like really, really creative, and well, we'll see. The approach, okay, so first time uses a lot of elbows here. Upper elbow, side elbow, side elbow, straight jab. He gets hit in the back with a metal bar. Get punch, ducks under. Yeah, he got. That's what I like about this Batman. This Batman makes mistakes, but he learns pretty fucking fast from it. So he got hit in the back with with an iron bar. So uh, what's the first thing he does? Ducks under, locks the arm with the metal bar, and neutralizes it. We see lock, and we hear the metal bar dropping to the ground because his shoulder is probably dislocated. And then after he throws the guy. I love this shot. He throws the guy like 3-4 meters out, and the guys are just jumping to each other. That's a great strategy when you fight multiple enemies. Using enemies as cover, you have to make them like dominoes. You have to make them fall into themselves, and uh, like you have to beat the number by making them create difficulties for themselves. And what does he do to the last one? Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, a clothing choke. So that's definitely a military thing, because not much. Could be a jiu-jitsu thing, I don't know. But most style that teach cloth, fighting with cloth, are mainly military style, to my knowledge. So he tweaks the neck and choke the guy with his own cloth. And of course, before he passes out, let's just be sure and bam, chokes him, pow, done. Here we see the gun, get shot once, doesn't like it, taser, and you're down. So yeah, almost no gadget except the taser, and they're all down. So great fight. I thought the fight would be longer, but yeah, fights are don't last very long usually. And of course, you see the last one the was doing his initiation. Let them go. It's like they have their lesson. They will fear me in the future. I've got what I wanted. And of course, the man he rescued saying, "Please don't hurt me. Just make us understand that Batman is still not a trusted, like the like Bella Real said on TV. Like we have a running vigilante loose on the streets. Like we'll see. Not no more. Not much except Gordon. Nobody likes Batman. Mainly at this time of the movie. That's what makes this Batman's arc the greater in the at the end. Because for here, yeah, are you kidding me? And but I love that Gordon, I love this level of Gordon's authority because he just has enough to let him in, but not enough to keep him in. Like he's not commissioner yet. So when the commissioner comes, it's bad news. Batman has to go. So again, just checking for the camera. Okay, camera's still alive. So yeah, first kill scene. No more lies. Who the fuck is that? I love Pattinson's movement. I mean, I love how he is slow and meticulous. Meticulous is the best word, I think. He is the way when on a crime scene when he fights, of course, he's fast and deadly. But when when he is on a crime scene, he is very much when he's everywhere. In fact, when he's on his own, when he's not in a violent scenario, when he has control of the situation, he is very stoic. He is like a statue. Like you can't pass through him. He is so tall. The voice, like Moses around the room. The low larynx voice. Um, and the fact, just right there with his first words are detective words. And yeah, oh yeah, I want to talk about that. There's a few references in the movie about the big drug bust that took Maroney down. And uh, I had people that told me they liked the movie, but they didn't understand a lot of it. And I went, well, you didn't read The Long Halloween. And they said, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? And I said, yep, that's it. And that means, can you imagine? I cannot imagine. Yeah, we're at the first riddle. Yeah, to the Batman, straight. Oh boy. Yeah, I pause a little bit. I just wanted to say about Maroni. Yeah, I love. Can you imagine? Like, who else than Matt Reeves could have said to Warner Brothers, "Give me $200 million, and I will make a dark noir detective comic book movie Batman." And with this script, it's like it's made for it. It has so much depth in lore and mythos. Like, of course, Maroni is not Maroni. You don't have to know who he is, but to just mention his name and never explaining who he is or what he is or who Falcone is and who are their relationships and all of that. It's like it talks a lot about, and by not showing Batman's origins, Batman training, Batman making his own stuff, by not mentioning anything, he's beholding a lot of trust onto his audience, and on top of that, it's a 3 hour movie. So all that jam packed in a 3 hour movie, and got him. WB gave him the green light. Incredible, incredible, and of course, so on pause. Yeah, the Batman. Real. You see, Batman is one step smarter than those cops. Of course. Good joke. Yeah, and as I said, Batman doesn't start speaking, doesn't start speaking to the commissioner. He just walks around his target, analyzing because he has his contact lenses. And what does he see? Oh, something catches his eye. Yeah, there's the blood on the ground. But top of that, the main thing, even greater than the crime scene, is the boy left behind. And I like how he's doing. He is so stoic. He moves so slowly but surely, and he doesn't. You see him. He doesn't blink for all the shot that he sees. That he looks at the kid. He doesn't blink once, and he just when he departs, he closes his eyes. But when he sees the kid, he doesn't blink once, and I'm sure that was Pattinson's doing. Of course, the motorcycle monologue continues. The Nirvana song, and I love how we, of course, the cinematography, but the camera angles on vehicles, and of course, when you have the chase with the Batmobile, and every frame, like here, we see the back wheel, and always not twice the same, the mirror. Yeah, there's so much to unpack here. It's going to Wayne Tower very far away. Of course, tallest tower, and it's on his motorcycle, so it's very like it doesn't. Okay, what the fuck. So yeah, welcome to the Batcave. Except in the Burton, this is my favorite Batcave because, of course, the Batcave in Nolan trilogy was pure shit. And now, my favorite thing about this movie, the tech lenses. Only place I saw, and it makes perfect sense for Batman to have, but the only place, the first time a few years ago, I discovered that this was real, was in the CIA. It was the CIA had lenses like that. So when I saw that in the movie, I went, "Oh, this is smart. This is a perfect gadget. This is his detective vision from the Arkham games, but it can record." So just gonna pause here. I'm at 20 minutes and 23 seconds. I'll be all right. Sorry guys, it was hot in here. So let's continue. 20 minutes, 23 seconds. When we hear the first time about the Wayne murders, so we hear that Thomas Wayne was too running for mayor. So like they say, it's an eerie coincidence. And I love there is no. People told me there's not enough Bruce Wayne. Like Bruce Wayne, there's no Bruce Wayne in this movie. Not once. You see the guy there that you see? That's not Bruce Wayne. That's Batman. Yeah, and you can revisit the crime scene 1,000 times. And that's what makes him so good. I like that he has his boxing raps, very realistic. Of course, Alfred. So Alfred by Andy Serkis, I think. Yeah, and we see just I'll just pause. This first part will be short because I have a cold and it's late. But just to say, like I said, there's no Bruce in this movie. He is consumed by his suit. He's consumed by the like I said, a rush behind the mask, and that's his drug. People take a different kind of drug in this movie that runs the city, but his drug is the suit. His drug is his persona. His drug is his true face, of course, because he has. I like that Batman that is so young already knows is so traumatized because that's the word for this iteration of Batman. He is traumatized because the only scene that we see him in public, in the funeral scene, if you can call any behavior expert, or a body language expert look at him, they'll say, "Holy shit, this guy, I've seen some stuff. He is so sad, and it's like he has. It's like his soul has abandoned. His soul has quit, and he is like. I mean, he's so full of character, but he is so. Yes, you could say sad, but he is so full of sorrow and a mix of emotions you can't really pinpoint. You can just be baffled by. You can like you can't understand the trauma. It's like it's like a war veteran coming home, but he's like a war veteran every night. He's like he risks his life every night. So, but the death of his parents were the catalyst. Of course, it always is, but in this version of Batman, it's like he is, and we'll talk about it more. Just to finish on Alfred, of course, accountants from Wayne Enterprises are coming, but Bruce doesn't care, and he doesn't care what happens to him. And I've never understood why. Of course, because Bruce, of course, hasn't developed his playboy persona yet. He doesn't give a fuck. He is as far from that as you can think. And I like that we see the engine of the Batmobile, the white drape of the Batmobile that he's like working on in the background, but you can't really tell. And it really seems distant with Alfred. For the casting of Alfred in this circus, it's Andy fucking circus. I mean, you can't say he's not a great actor, but I'm waiting. I wanted to see more, and I was but I understood at the end that because there's no Bruce in this Batman, there cannot be much Alfred because Alfred is there for Bruce. Alfred can be really there for Batman, but because Batman exists in another almost dimension, it's like when he is Batman, he can't relate. He's like that. He's not human anymore. He's a creature. This Batman is certainly, and I love that. Yeah, he's saying he was in the service. Batman light hurts his eyes. It's a good job. They work together. It's okay. 24 minutes, 37 seconds. I won't. I'll stop here for now for this first part. Yeah, because I started a little bit late. Sorry for that. But I won't upload it now. I'll upload it when I have all the movie finished. So, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you get part two in a few minutes when you'll see this. So, thanks for watching as always, and let's uh, let's we'll have a great time finishing this hell of a Batman movie that we have to go through. So take care, guys, and let's see you next on the next Batman thing or not.